missing person, Connor Cairns.
I expect great things from Connor.
He's acting a little odd. We need to talk.
Right, later.
It seemed different after she met him.
Stop, for Christ's sake!
Is Connor capable of murder?
The fragment of T-shirt belongs to Brid. It's got Connor's DNA all over it.
We got the facial depiction
Of the body in the suitcase?
We've issued it as a press release. We'll see if anybody recognizes him.
That's him. William Arthur Rogers, US national.
This is your fault, Danny!
I need you to go. I saw Connor the night he disappeared. He was at the roadside, arguing with someone.
We've found Connor's phone.
There's this one location that comes up a lot.
I think I've found Connor's safe place. Oh my God, I think it's a bomb.
Tosh, can you hear me?
The door's locked!
Tosh.
Fire service is already there.
I've got Tosh.
Have you found DS McIntosh? Hello?
We've lost signal.
DS Macintosh. Where is she? You cut out.
No,
I tried calling you back, but your phone was dead. I couldn't. I mean, what the hell happened?
the thing just blew up. I think it was rigged. I saw cables, drums, and a timer.
How did you get out? Tosh?
Okay, so I think we better get you down to the hospital, have you checked out, okay?
Honestly, there's
No,
no.
don't start. You're going. We can talk later, okay?
Okay.
Check the site. There's no sign of any other devices.
What about casualties?
None. It's just a hell of a mess. The incident commander said he's never seen a blast like it.
Who owns the caravan?
John Donald, a retired vet, said he rented it out to Connor Cairns 4 months ago as a studio.
Sandy, go and see John Donald, find out when he last saw Connor, and then call Aberdeen and request bomb scene managers. And we need them first thing in the morning.
Got it.
We're going to need uniforms to guard this field until they get here. You got that?
Sir.
It's just temporary, right? It's not like you and Dad are going to get a divorce or anything.
Abby.
It's Perez.
Where is this caravan?
Main Island, near Delting. At least it was until it blew up.
What do you mean it blew up?
What I mean is, someone rigged it with explosives, and one of my officers was on the scene when it went up, and she's lucky to be alive.
Well, what's that got to do with Connor?
Connor was renting the caravan.
Well, that doesn't mean anything.
Did you know about this?
What? No.
Connor confided in you. He told you about dealing drugs in Glasgow.
Aye, but he's never said anything about caravans or making bombs.
Connor's not making bombs. This is ridiculous. He's just a boy. He isn't capable of hurting anyone.
Well, we'll soon find out.
What's that supposed to mean?
As of tonight, I'm changing the focus of the investigation. Connor's no longer a missing person. I'm issuing a warrant for his arrest.
His arrest? For what?
For the murder of Brid Fleming and the attempted murder of my detective.
Tosh. Tosh.
Are you okay?
I'm fine.
You said there was an explosion and...
Hello.
Oh, my God, Tosha. Oh, my God. What's happened to your hands?
I cut them. Just take me home, will you?
Sandy.
John Donald last saw Connor about a month ago when he turned up to pay his rent.
What? You didn't check up on him?
No, he just took the money and let him get on with it. He didn't even know Connor was missing.
Okay, take a statement from him and we'll catch up in the morning.
Hey, sorry I'm late. Mrs. Dunn was showing me her photograph album for the umpteenth time. You okay?
We nearly lost Tosh tonight. She's all right. I mean, at least I think she's all right.
What happened?
We think that Connor rigged a caravan he was renting with a bomb, and Tosh was in it just before it went off.
Jesus. We can do this another time. Call me tomorrow and let me know how Tosh is.
Or you could stay. I mean, I understand if you don't want to, it's fine. But
Yes, I can stay.
Okay.
Come on. You going into work?
We're in the middle of a case.
Yeah, I know, Tosh, but... I mean, maybe we should talk.
About what?
You still haven't told me what actually happened last night.
There's nothing to tell. Oh, can you get her?
Tosh got released from hospital last night. She's got minor injuries, but, I mean, could have been a whole lot worse. See, Tosh is adamant that she saw a bomb.
What does that mean for the investigation?
Everything we thought we were dealing with no longer applies. And that includes Connor Cairns. He's now our main suspect. And not just for the bomb, but also for the murder of Brid Fleming.
What about this William Rogers?
Rogers and Brid were killed in a similar manner. But apart from that, we've got nothing to link Rogers with Connor. Are you any further forward with his movements after he landed on the 18th?
No, there's nothing after the airport cafe.
He must have gone somewhere.
I've requested his bank and phone records, but it might take a while.
Phone the American Embassy and see if they can help us. And in the meantime, get all the background that you can on Rogers. But the main thing is that we find Connor Cairns. He's no longer a missing person. He's a suspect. If he did rig that bomb, then he is out there and he's alive, and I want him found. Billy, get onto the uniforms and get them to check properties near the caravan and see if anybody saw Connor recently. Hi.
D.I. Brooks, specialist forensic team. I'm looking for D.I. Perez.
Yeah, I'm Jimmy Perez. I thought you guys were going straight to the blast site.
Team are already there, but I wanted to get some background on you.
Oh.
Sure.
Sorry, excuse me a minute.
You had us worried, you know. Thank God you're okay.
What are you doing here? I thought I told you to take some time off.
Yeah, I'm fine.
No, you need to get some rest.
Oh, I'm not going to get it at home. Not with a screaming baby. And then there's Louise. Who's that? Art was never my strongest subject.
No, this is very useful. These were plastic drums.
Blue, like chemical drums.
And the timer?
Just an old kitchen one. It started while I was in the caravan.
Anything else in there?
Drawings, paintings, art materials, and there were maps on the wall.
Kind of maps.
Nautical, sea charts.
How long were you in there?
Not long, maybe a few minutes. As soon as I realised what was happening, I ran for the hills.
Lucky escape.
I didn't get away completely unscathed. Lost a button from my favourite coat.
This is a wee bit of background on Connor Cairns because we think he was responsible for the explosion.
Your DS seems remarkably unfazed by your ordeal. This must be tough.
Don't know the half of it.
I'll call when I have news.
Okay. Okay, I've got to go and talk to Lloyd Anderson. Can you chase forensics on Brid?
Sure.
Then take it easy, or you're going to get a row.
This is what the police do. They smear the victims, try and make out it was their fault.
But this explosion, this bomb.
Who's to say it was Connor? Just because he rented a caravan? Look, we both know Connor's a good person, no matter what Paris says.
Any news?
No, we haven't found Connor yet.
They're saying he killed Brid.
Who?
The kids at the school. I know I shouldn't be listening to them, but
We're still investigating. Is Lloyd here?
he's in the studio.
So, this explosion, you certain it was Connor who caused it?
All the evidence is pointing to him. Did you ever go up and visit him at the caravan?
No. I knew he had a studio, but he never told me where he was.
So what about the lessons?
Connor always came here.
So what did you two talk about?
Drawing, mostly.
Mostly.
Sometimes we talk about books or movies. Kid was like a sponge.
Anything else?
We didn't talk about blowing things up, if that's what you're asking.
Sorry, it's just I'm trying to make this fit. Everyone I speak to says the same thing. He was quiet, he liked art, he was non-violent, and yet...
The evidence is different.
Either everyone's a terrible judge of character or he was playing them.
Maybe the evidence is wrong.
I don't think so.
It happens, though. You read about these things. Cases where evidence is misinterpreted or tampered with. I'm not suggesting that you... What I'm saying is that sometimes the evidence doesn't always tell the whole truth. Sure, it might prove that Connor blew that thing up, but it can't tell you why. Maybe he had a good reason.
And what about killing Brid? Do you think he had a good reason for that too?
I don't know. Maybe you're right. Maybe he was playing us. All I can tell you is, I like the kid. You should talk to Jamie.
Connor's publisher?
He was more than his publisher. They worked together on the graphic novel. Connor talked about him a lot. I think he looked up to Jamie.
Okay. Sorry. Tosh.
Hey, the forensic report on Brid Fleming's just come through.
Anything useful?
Not much. Her body had been thoroughly cleaned, but they did find traces of boron in her nasal cavities.
Boron?
Yeah, it's a chemical used for dry rot treatment in woodworm. Just wondering where she could have picked it up from.
Well, the killer would have had to have kept her somewhere to clean the body.
Well, I'll start calling builders, see how many properties are having rot treatment done at the moment.
Okay. Keep me posted. I'm sorry. Jimmy Perez.
need a full analysis before we can confirm, but it looks like it was an improvised device that used a mix of fuel and fertilizer.
And how difficult is it to make one of them?
Not as easy as you would think. The file you gave me said your suspect studied chemical engineering.
You never finished the course, though.
Even so, I think he'd have enough knowledge to put a device together.
Why blow up a caravan?
Whatever the reason, it must have been important given the size of the blast.
Any reason you can think of for the overkill?
Inexperience? Could be that he didn't know what he was dealing with, but if he was using timers and trips...
Sure.
Did he have many friends?
He had a few.
In my experience, lone bombers are rare. More often than not, they have a support network, usually like-minded people with a common goal. Terrorists usually want something.
Sure.
It's quite soon to come. I know, but you sure you're okay? Yeah.
You back already?
And not a moment too soon by the sounds of it. You couldn't give her a day off?
I tried.
Doesn't listen to me.
Really? I'm fine.
So, interesting case, I hear.
Well, that's one word for it. How much do you already know?
Not most of it. I'm up to the exploding caravan bit.
Well, I just spoke to D.I. Brooks, who's our bomb scene manager,
And?
and we've got a problem.
It's a bit of a jump. Connor making bombs is bad enough, but terrorism?
Well, can you think of another reason why he might be making them then?
We know he had some weird hobbies. Maybe he just built a bomb to see if he could do it.
All right, well then why rig it up to a caravan? I mean, that was a trap that you walked into.
Yeah, I'm not saying he's innocent. I just think terrorism is a reach.
But if it is terrorism, then what's Connor's cause? I've been through his file. He's not political.
Yeah, and we've been over every part of his life. There's no evidence to say that he had any links to extremism.
We didn't have any evidence that he was linked to dealing drugs either, but, you know, I mean, look, I don't claim to have all the answers. I'm just saying that Connor Cairns is good at hiding certain aspects of his life. So if we want to know what he's involved in, then we have to find him. Billy, is there anything for the uniforms?
We've interviewed most of the residents near the caravan. Some of them recall him coming and going, but not recently.
He's got to be somewhere.
But if you're right, and he is involved in something like this, then he's probably hiding out.
Brooks says he thinks he'd have associates. So maybe if we can't find him, maybe we can find them. Rona, could you get in touch with the Specialist Crime Unit and see if they've flagged up anyone in Shetland with links to terrorism or activist groups?
Yeah.
Sandy, can you contact fertiliser suppliers? Because Connor must have got it from somewhere, and maybe if we can trace the source, maybe it'll lead us to him. Tosh, you and I can re-interview his associates. I'll do Jamie Nary and you of Murray Rankin.
Jimmy, I know you're in the middle of it, but I just wanted to see how you are.
I'm fine.
Really? Because you look like shit.
Well, thanks for that, Rona. It's really good to have you back.
No, seriously. It's everything you've been through this past year. Your dad, Duncan, the tribunal. I'm just astounded you're still keeping it all together.
Well, you know, what else are you going to do?
Could go and get drunk if you want.
It really is good to have you back.
I know.
The last time I helped you, he ended up being thrown in a cell while your colleagues ransacked my home.
And I'm really sorry that had to happen.
Everyone on this island thinks I'm some sort of predator. I can't even work the front desk anymore. Too many looks. Instead, I'm stuck back here like some grubby secret.
I know how hard it's been, Murray. But you know Connor better than anyone. We've found out some things about him. We thought you could help us to understand.
All that bomb stuff is nonsense.
Come on. You can't be serious. There's no way Connor's involved in terrorism.
Never mentioned any extreme views, political or ideological.
I mean, we talked about a lot of stuff, but nothing that heavy.
Connor's a pacifist. He doesn't believe in violence.
So you've discussed his beliefs?
We've discussed a lot of things.
Like politics?
Yes. But in the abstract, Connor wants to change the world.
Did he ever talk about violence? Did he ever talk about wanting to hurt someone?
If anything, he seemed more likely to hurt himself than someone else. I'll admit, when I first heard that Connor was missing, I thought that maybe he'd...
You thought he was suicidal?
Troubled. Connor's a nice guy, but he's intense. Always overthinking things, whether it was his novel or his family or his girlfriend.
Oh, hang on. He had issues with Brid.
He was worried that she was cheating on him. It was all in his head, but you know how it is at that age. And you feel betrayal more.
He made a bomb, Murray.
No.
We think he might be working with others. What if he's planning some sort of attack? Maybe here in Shetland?
Connor would never do anything to harm these isles. He loves this place. He has such a passion for it. Christ, that's why I admire him so much.
Can't say I recognise the boy, but I suppose he could have been in.
Could he have bought fertiliser?
We only sell to account holders, and even they need an FIS certificate.
Okay, I mean, maybe he stole some?
If we lost any fertiliser, son, you lot would be the first to know.
Okay, what about your customers? I mean, could he have got some from one of them?
You'll need to ask them that.
Then I'll need their details.
Wait there.
It's a wildlife guide developing this new feather. I know it's been borrowed. Tosh? Carol Ann, Donnie's a friend.
I know, hi.
Gosh, how are you feeling?
Fine.
Donnie told me what happened last night.
Did he?
It must have been terrifying.
It really wasn't that bad.
Donnie seemed to think it was. He was really worried about this morning. So, how did it happen? Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm so sorry. I have to go. I've got to get back to work.
Cassie. Okay, I'll be there in a minute.
Came in a couple of hours ago. He's been drinking solidly since.
Any trouble?
Getting a wee bit aggressive.
Okay. Look, you might want to think about getting a wee bit of security in here when you're working on your own.
Got your message, okay?
Think I'm covered for security.
What took you?
Christ. What do you want?
I just want to see if you're okay.
Take a day fucking boo.
Shall I give you a lift home?
I don't want to go home.
But Rachel will be worried about you.
Well, Rachel kicked me out.
Okay. Right, come on. Let's get you some fresh air. Danny here. You know as well as I do, investigations like this always put a strain on a marriage.
What kind of bomb was it? Abby called me this morning, told me what happened. I figured the bomb guys would be a first move.
Fertilizer bomb.
You think Connor made it?
I do. Let's start with a why. I don't think he's bombing things for fun. He doesn't seem like the frivolous type. So why is he doing it?
I don't know.
Come on, Danny, what does he care about?
Fucking doodling.
What makes him angry?
Me.
Oh, come on, Danny, help me out
What do you
here.
want me to say? He likes art and poetry, comics. He's
reads more books in a week than I read in a year. He likes nature, plants, animals, fucking hells. We have nothing in common. Connor is a stranger to me.
Did he always like nature?
What?
Connor, was he always into nature?
But more so since we moved here.
He reported the Davidsons for dumping waste into the loch. Was that like him?
But that stuff makes him angry.
What stuff?
Environmental stuff.
Taken millions of years to make all this, and now we're going to destroy it.
Are you listening? I said there might be...
It's taken millions of years to make all this, and now we're going to destroy it.
Trying to figure out what Connor cares about, and it's been right in front of us the whole time.
Environmental activism.
Yeah. It's present in every single thing he does. He's in his graphic novel, in the books that he reads, in the groups that he joins.
He joined the conservation club. They clean up beaches. They're not exactly die-hard eco-terrorists.
Well, maybe he's more die-hard than the rest of them. I mean, look at the Davidsons. I mean, he tried to ruin their business because they poisoned the loch.
So then where does Brid Fleming fit in? She shared Connor's beliefs. If we're saying he was involved in her murder, why kill her?
Maybe she found out about the bomb and she was going to expose him.
Or maybe she'd served her purpose and Connor didn't need her anymore. Brid's mum's Croft is on the list of businesses that bought fertiliser in the last 6 months.
Yeah, but can you prove that that's where he got the fertiliser from?
Well, we know that he and Brid stayed up there over Easter. Would have been easy enough for him to access it then.
Well, it's a nice theory, but it's not proof.
Okay, again, there are many questions to be answered, no doubt. But I still think the eco-activist angle is the most plausible so far. Sandy, go to Eileen Fleming's Croft and see if you can prove that that's where he got it from. Tosh, start doing background checks on the Conservation Club members.
Billy, a body's been found at Maywick.
Connor.
I'll start the post-mortem as soon as I get him back to the lab. But right now, I'd say his injuries are consistent with a fall from height.
How long would you say he's been lying out here?
A couple of days at the most.
Tosh, it's me. What you got?
Found a cairn near the jump site. The stones look clean. I think it was built recently. Oh, hold on. It's a piece of paper. It's one of Connor's drawings. I think it's Brid.
Tape off the area. Get a forensics team up there. But it looks like suicide. I'm going to have to go and let the family know.
What do you think it means?
Suicide note?
Or a confession? Connor kills Brid and is overcome with guilt, so he takes his own life.
A murder-suicide?
I mean, his DNA was found at the site where Brid was abducted.
I agree. Everything that we've learned so far says that Connor killed Brid.
Background on William Rogers. Not much there. It's mostly his employment history.
Anything about how he ended up in this part of the world?
I called around a few of the oil companies. He's done a few stints here over the years, but nothing recently. His bank has confirmed that the coffee he bought at the airport was the last transaction on his account. US Embassy sent through a contact number for his sister. I haven't got through to her yet, but I'll try it again later.
Okay, Sandy, well done. Now, go home.
You go home as well.
I will, in a wee while. Oh, did you call the SCD?
Oh, yeah, they got back to me an hour ago. There's no red flags. They're not looking at any activist groups on Shetland. So...
Hiya.
Oh, hey, you're back. It's good timing. Dinner's in 5-10 minutes.
Managed to get her down then?
Yeah, we've got half an hour until she wakes up. Oh, there's some wine in the fridge.
Oh, great. What's this?
That's just a wee bit of research on near-death experiences and how different people react to a traumatic event.
Carol Ann put you onto this.
What?
When you met her today.
I didn't meet her.
Donnie.
Talk shit. I didn't meet Carol Ann. I mean, I called her to cancel a coffee date.
And then you discussed me.
She asked why I couldn't meet, and I had to give a reason, so I told her what happened.
You couldn't just make something up.
Why would I do that?
Because it's my private business.
So, that's the Chronicle's homepage. Everyone is talking about it. Everyone except you.
I have to go back to work.
What?
Something I forgot to do.
Tosh, don't be... Tosh!
Well, I came here to deliver some bad news, but it looks like you've already heard.
So he took his own life, huh?
Looks that way.
Man, he must have been in a lot of pain.
Anyway, I better get going.
Do you want to join me for a drink? Afraid it's only bourbon. I never got the taste of single malt.
Bourbon's fine.
So where does Connor's suicide leave your case?
With more questions.
This caravan bomb, you guys get to the bottom of that yet?
Could be he was part of a cell.
Like a terrorist cell?
Eco-activism. Did he ever talk to you about that?
No, nothing like that. Did you break the news to Rachel?
Yeah.
You have a shitty job, D.I. Perez.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Then why do it?
'Cause I'm good at it. Most of the time. And I love it here. Although, the longer I do this job, the less I fit in.
You know what you are, don't you? You're the town sheriff. Like the old westerns, Jimmy Stewart and High Noon. That's you. The townsfolk want you to protect them. Shoot down the black hats, and when you do, you're their hero. But you'll never be their friend. Why? Because one day you might have to shoot them down. And you know that too. So you keep your distance. To the loneliness of the lawman.
Yeah, I'm not lonely.
Sure, you got people around you, people who love you, but you can never give them all of you. Because you just don't know. And it's gonna be that way until you find another line of work.
Well, that was quite some speech. But High Noon was Gary Cooper.
There's some fresh coffee on the table.
Oh, thanks very much. What time is it?
It's just after 7.
I don't suppose you have a spare charger, do you?
It's on the counter.
Is Lloyd still sleeping?
Oh, no. He went out sketching early. I was going to take some meals round to the cairns.
Yeah, I think they'd really appreciate that.
So, how was your therapy session?
What?
Lloyd likes to analyse his drinking partners. Works out their problems until they have a breakthrough.
Well, I don't remember a breakthrough.
Well, that'll probably come to you later.
Well, how long have you two been together?
15 years since he rescued me.
Rescued?
That's what it felt like.
Okay. Sorry, excuse me. Yesterday you said it was suicide.
I said it was a fall from a height, which was technically correct, but it wasn't the fall that killed him. The fatal injury was a blow to the back of the skull. There. It's too precise to have been caused by the fall. I think a weapon was used.
Is it the same weapon that killed Brid?
I'd say there was a good chance. My guess is his killer threw his body off the cliff and probably hoped the injuries from the fall would mask the real cause of death.
When did he die?
Sometime in the last 72 hours, and death would have been a relief. Ligature marks on his wrists and ankles suggest he'd been restrained for a considerable time. And he also has bruises and burns on his torso.
Tortured?
Over a couple of days. I think he was held somewhere, and at some point Brid was with him. Traces of boron found in his hair and on his clothes. Just like Brid.
Morning.
Morning.
Are you all done at the blast site?
Almost there, yeah.
What's the verdict?
It was a 200-pound bomb with a TNT equivalence of 84.
Is that big?
That is powerful, yes. You know, DS McIntosh, most people can expect to experience some psychological fallout in the aftermath of a blast like that.
Well, I guess I'm one of the lucky few.
I guess so.
Oh, sorry. Hey.
I was angry. I was too quick to pin it on him, Tosh.
Connor was murdered.
What?
He was dead.
Before he went over the cliff, Cora just confirmed it.
It was all staged. The sketch.
The cairn, the signet ring in the car, it was all a setup.
Staged by whom?
Whoever killed Connor and Brid.
The sketch of Brid, we need to find out how the killer got it.
Get it over to the lab.
If it was planted, they might get prints from it.
And the boron, did you find out who's been using it?
There's still a few companies to check.
Well, get on it.
I'm on the ferry to Bressie, I'll call you later. Are you going to see Abby?
Aye.
I can give you a lift.
What did it look like?
What?
Connor's body.
Not something that you'd want to see.
Wouldn't bother me. I'm quite into dead bodies. And I've seen loads. There's this website with all these pictures of corpses and morgues. Anyway, death isn't the end. The spirit lives on. Connor's spirit could be right here in this car. Sat in the back seat.
Clanna, do me a favour, would you? See, when we get to the Cairns house, don't talk.
Where have you been?
I went to see Aileen Fleming. She says that she noticed her fertilizer stock was low a few months ago, but she didn't think anything of it. Reckons she'd just used a bit more than she'd thought. But when we spoke about the dates, she realised she noticed the shortfall the week after Brid and Connor had been up to visit.
Hey.
Hey, I heard this morning. Wanted to come over and check on Rachel.
How's she?
She's still in shock. But Danny's here. He's with her now.
This is Clanna. This is Abby's friend.
Abby's in her room, if you want to go and see her.
Where are Danny and Rachel?
How are you feeling?
Fine.
You must be sad.
Was Martin down there?
Who?
Martin, the creepy photographer.
Don't know, I didn't see him.
He must still be in his room.
Abby, are you okay?
Martin had something to do with it.
With what?
Connor. Brid, all of this. He's been acting really weird. Like all over my mum. Joining the search party. I mean, why is he still here? And he's hiding something. In his room. I watched him last night. Connor, I'm gonna need your help.
Where was he all this time?
We don't know.
You don't know?
We think that whoever killed Connor was holding him against his will.
Jesus. So who did that?
We don't know yet.
You must have some idea, for Christ's sake.
It was him. Connor is dead because of him.
I'll do everything in my power to find the person responsible.
Oh, you're responsible. You were the one that was supposed to find him. You were supposed to bring him home to his family, and instead you made him out to be a criminal. You failed, my boy!
Rachel.
Get out of my house.
Jimmy, she didn't mean it. She's upset.
No, she's right.
No, don't put this all on yourself.
I have to go.
No, Jimmy, wait.
8 days ago, Connor Cairns goes missing. We now know that he was likely abducted, held captive, tortured, and killed. 4 days after Connor is abducted, Brid Fleming is also murdered. And then 2 days ago, the caravan that Connor was renting is destroyed by an improvised bomb.
If it was just the two murders, Connor and Brid, then we could be looking at something personal. A crime of passion or a love triangle.
But the bomb changes all that.
Yeah, it points to something bigger.
And then there's William Rogers. Where does he fit into all of this?
Connor is the key to it all.
Why did the killer torture him?
Well, probably because he wanted something from him.
But what?
I don't know, there's someone else. Someone that links Brid and Connor and the bomb.
Follow me. Stay here. Keep a lookout for him.
What?
Finally spoke to Roger's sister.
Did she know why he was on Shetland?
Well, she says she hadn't spoken to him in 5 years, but she says he had a school friend who moved to the UK in the 2000s.
Do we have a name for him?
Chet.
Okay, get in touch with William Rogers' old high school and see if you can get a list of his classmates.
There's only one firm in Shetland that regularly uses boron for rock work. They've got 4 jobs on at the moment, all residential, which means the owners are at home while the work is being carried
So
out.
you think they'd notice if somebody was being tortured on their property?
But the owner mentioned this place here.
Ronan Kirk.
They had to abandon the restoration when the clients ran out of money. Ronan Kirk is in Maywick.
Yeah, it's just a couple of miles from the cliffs.
the photographer, right?
That's right.
I'd love to get into photography. I mean, as a career, like. Any advice?
Buy a camera.
Yeah, but what type of camera? Well?
This is definitely where they were kept. Well, by the looks of it, Britt was killed first, and could be Connor was made to watch. Tosh, get a forensics team up here and then get a list of everybody who's had access to that place recently. Sandy.
There's something you need to see.
What is all this?
It's not wildlife, that's for sure.
So, I found Roger's old school, Jefferson High. It's in a city in Texas called Brownsville. They sent through the yearbook for his graduation class. He did have a friend called Chet, but he died in 2016, and it wasn't the UK he moved to, it was Germany.
So, what's the issue?
I started flicking through the other headshots, and I found it. It's an old photo, but it's him.
That's Lloyd Anderson.
No, that's Walter Edwards. He must have changed his name.
He was at school with Rogers.
Same town, same school, same year. I mean, they must have known each other.
Alan, is everything okay?
So do you need something?
Actually, I have something for you. Sharp-eyed member of my team found it on the edge of the field.
You didn't need to do that.
I have a favourite quote too. Take care, DS Macintosh.
Tosh?
Donnie.
Tosh? Tosh, are you okay?
Come again.
Who are you?
Plenty more questions being asked as Bloodlands returns for a new series. Brush up on all of Series 1, now on iPlayer. Buckle up for real-life blues and twos. Ambulance, here on BBC One, tomorrow at 9.